Remember that Trump is a mascot of that faction of the OCGFC, and that faction wants de-escalation in the Middle East. They want stability and so on. They want America withdrawn and a new global order established centered on the global south, on BRICS, etc. They're not particularly interested in Europe surviving except as a dependency of the U.S. It's kind of a consolation prize to American empire. So the U.S. is likely going to undergo its own neoliberal prescription and will stumble towards recreating manufacturing capacity over the next few years, while the A national OCGFC will make a kind of a capitalist hijra to the new realms of the global economy. So what does that mean for you? What does that mean for the average American? Well, what the military-industrial complex used to do to us in the global south, they're going to start doing to you in America, in Europe. Yes, there will be increased militarization of the security forces in your countries, increased repression, increased violence, increased control. I said that they don't love you, they don't respect you, and in fact they have contempt for you, but they fear you. And they've been working on how to mitigate that fear, mitigate that threat that you pose. And at least one very obvious way that they can do that is to make you fear and hate each other. Making you hate and fear each other will become even easier over time, the more desperate your conditions and your circumstances become. So in many ways, this is just going to be a revival of Western so-called civilization's origin story. In the cold, barren, inhospitable plains and mountains of Europe, individuals and clans had to eke out their survival, and they developed predatory habits amidst the wolves and bears and what have you, and the other rival clans and so on. This is the origin of both materialism and individualism in the Western ethos. The battle for resources in a dog-eat-dog, endless and relentless and ruthless struggle. So as things get more desperate in the West, you're just going to intensify in those instincts. Now, partly, this is exactly what those in power have feared about you. So their main strategy is distraction. It's smokescreens, deflection, confusion, to make sure that you never target them with those survival instincts. Because things are going to get more desperate in the West, in America, and in Europe. Probably more so in Europe than America, but even in America, things are going to get harder. And I think they're going to get much harder. I've said before that you really need to start thinking of yourselves and seeing yourselves the same way that the power structure sees you. And by that I mean see yourselves as no different from the people of the global south. Because the power structure sees you the same way. You think you're different. You think you're special. And that all the wars and the subjugation that America and the West have inflicted on the global south all these years has been for your benefit. You're a slave in Pharaoh's palace, but you think you're a member of the family.